Hello. Aha. All right, we're doing okay. We'll type here. Hello. I forgot to prearrange. Is that the word? So yeah, I just put everything together now. I remembered that I wanted to go on live tonight at 11:30, which it's 11:33. I figured I'm pretty close. But I totally forgot to go to YouTube and, set it up and everything. So nobody's here right now, and I don't blame them. I totally forgot to send out the vibe. Jason will be live tonight at 11:30. But we'll wait a minute, and we're just going to jump in because people can come in as we go. How are everybody doing? It's Sunday night, August the 17th at 23:34. Military time in Japan. You got to get used to that. You got to get used to the metric system if you come live here. Centimeters for your height, liters for your gasoline, Celsius for your temperature. Those are probably three of the big ones. Kilograms, kilometers, kilometers. Which do you say? Do you say kilometers or kilometers? Okay, well, I'm going to share my screen and just get started because we really got cut short last night. We were only in the 200s, and I wanted to get all the way down to 101. So that's what we're going to try to do tonight if we don't have any glitches, and hopefully some people will come by. How can I check that I'm actually streaming and people can come and see it? Oh, I know. Okay, let me just do this real quick. If I go. Oh, no, this is not interesting. Sorry, I'm just going to. Oh, no, it says I am live. Okay, it's there. All right. Okay. Well, hopefully people will know. Nope. I had one person watching, that was me, and now it's gone. I'm back to 0. Okay, here we go. We're going to share and get started. Hopefully some people will be able to come by. Oh, and it seems like a few people did watch episode 1 as a video. I didn't really check the numbers on episode 2. We're looking at the top 500 pop songs on Billboard. Definitely very pop centric. As you can see from this entry, okay. Yeah, we look good. Okay. So top 500 pop songs, and we're about halfway through the list. And if I go by something, I'm going to take my own notes, but if I go by something and I've never heard it before, feel free to leave in the comments. Yeah, you should check out that song by, for instance, Psy, PSY. If you think, if I had said I'd never heard this before. Obviously, I've heard Gangnam Style before. I mean, how could you not? And I actually kind of like Gangnam Style. I know some people got sick of it, but I like that it came with its own dance and, it was different, K-pop and all that, the herald of K-pop. All right, so let's go back over here. I actually like Corinne Bailey Rae a lot. Put Your Records On. I like that whole little album that this came on in 2006. So this, even though I'd moved to Japan in 2004, very very aware of this song, and I really liked this whole album. I thought she had a really great vibe. Although I have to admit, I don't think I tried anything else from her. So I feel like I, in my own mind, put her in the one hit wonder category as like this one album is all she gets. But I should try other stuff from her because I did enjoy that first album. All right. Back over. So we're on Beck. Okay. Yeah, I'm a huge Beck fan. This is obviously the first single that really got him noticed, 1994. But, you know, uh, the subsequent albums I thought even got better. I really love an album he did called Sea Change, which has it's much more mellow vibe. He's not just kind of a white rapper, or he kind of came off as sort of this hip hop, wannabe on this song. It's kind of like Radiohead Creep. They had this one song that was sort of unusual and got them attention, but then they went off in this other direction and became this other huge thing. And I think Beck did the same thing. He grabbed attention with this kind of quirky song, but I think the rest of his catalog is much more impressive, and I am a big fan overall. But yeah, Losers a great track too, though. Okay, next, my man, the boss. So, Dancing in the Dark. I was about to say Dancing in the Sheets, which is a song from the Footloose soundtrack. If you can name who sang Dancing in the Sheets without looking it up, we could be friends. I won't say. I'll let you try to remember. Yeah, he this album was huge in my life. I was 13, going. No, I guess I was 14 when it came out. And I knew of Bruce, but like I said, my older sister wasn't really into a lot of classic rock, and my parents weren't into Bruce, so I didn't have somebody older than me saying, "Hey, check out Born to Run," or Darkness on the Edge of Town, or Here's the River. And so this was my first Bruce Springsteen album, but I quickly started to dive into the back catalog, and I actually went to see the Born in the USA tour when he came to Dallas live at the Cotton Bowl in 85 or 86. I have the ticket stub. I could look it up, but a huge album in my life, and not actually my favorite Bruce album by a long shot. It'd probably be a number 4 or 5 now that I've listened to a whole range of his material. But the gateway drug, as it were, for me as a teenager in the 80s that got me into Bruce for sure. Okay. I'll keep going. That's 234. Temptations. I love, I talked about Motown. Any Motown song on here, with the exception of maybe one or two, is going to be high on my list. It's, fantastic song. Yeah, just love it. Just My Imagination, Running Away with Me. I was only 2 years old when this song came out, but it is definitely one of my favorites. More Hall & Oates. I think there should be even one more. What's the song that was really sampled heavily? You Make My Dreams is a big one, but there's another song. Anyway, we'll see it when we come to it. I know there's got to be at least one more Hall & Oates song on this list, even if it's just Maneater. That was such a huge pop song. But You Make My Dreams, another great little slice of Hall & Oates. Okay. Now we're getting into the good stuff. So I do have a couple people coming in. Hopefully, I'll leave a message here. Can you see the chart on screen? To see if people can see it. Hopefully they'll respond when they log in and are situated. I'll keep going here. So The Cure, Just Like Heaven. Oops, wrong way, wrong way. Okay. Yeah. What can you say? Such a great single for them. 88. I did not own uh, Disintegration when it first came out. I was probably like, oh, I don't know about that heavy music. Like I said, Depeche Mode when they started to get heavier. It took me a couple years. I love Just Can't Get Enough and some of their early poppy stuff. I love this single, but some of their big albums, Pornography, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, um, Disintegration, I wouldn't discover until the 90s when I kind of went back and started to really deep dive on them beyond just the greatest hits compilation called Staring at the Beach, Standing on the Beach, Staring at the Sea, which is the initial Cure album I had, which is such a great album. But this song is just such a great this is a great pop song. This would be in my top 50. This is way too low for me. All right. Okay, keep going here. Kanye. Now, this is one I don't know a lot of Kanye. I, of course, know who he is. I'm aware that he is revered in the rap community, the hip hop community. But this is one of the few songs I know, probably because Jamie Foxx um, and I think I heard for years, I had heard an edited version where he doesn't say the N word in the version. I must have had it on a compilation of like Grammy music or something that I bought one year. I'm like, oh, that's a really catchy song. Broke, and and I remember then I heard the actual song and I was like, oh, okay, well I can see why they didn't play this on the radio. But yeah, it's a phenomenal song, and of course, all tied in with uh, Jamie Foxx playing Ray Charles in the movie. But yeah, great track, great pop song, even if they can't play the real version on the radio. All right. Well, we maybe have 3 people watching. Say hello if you are watching. I'd like to know who's in there right now. Whitney Houston, How Will I Know? Okay. I liked Whitney Houston's first album just because it was so different and fresh when it first came out. But mm, and I mean, she undoubtedly, one of the best voices of all time. But again, not somebody like in that sort of like Mariah, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, that whole arena. I'd probably go for me. I would pick Adele. It's like that kind of more modern voice over. Obviously to me the greatest of all time in that arena is Barbara Streisand. I don't think you can get better. But she's probably not going to be on this list. Oh, okay. Well, another woman with a fantastic voice. This is not one of her soaring vocals, but the one that really got her noticed. Genie in a Bottle, huge hit. Of course, we know that one. Petula Clark, Downtown. All right. Oh, okay. So Nick is in here. Nick Rock 12, hello. And he's saying he can see the chart going by, so hopefully it's showing up along with me in the little box. Cool. Yep, we're on Petula Clark, Downtown, number 227. And this is an interesting one because I don't know why. I don't know how this happened, but this is one of my huge go-to karaoke songs. And she's obviously a woman, I'm a man, but it just suits my vocal range pretty well. And it's got some really, you can belt it out parts of it. And it's a great one to get the people that are sitting around watching you sing in karaoke, because everybody takes turns to do the background parts. Downtown, I can teach any person, I've done this with tons of Japanese people where they've never even heard this song. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be your part coming up. You just have to go downtown, and I'll point at you, and it's pretty obvious, and they get it, and they enjoy singing along. So this is a huge song in my personal canon, as it were. All right, and then we get to our first song of the new chart, or the new night here, the new video number 3, where I don't know. I know who Charlie XCX is. She's the one that had that song about we fell in love on the bridge and blah 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 blah. I mean I know what song I'm thinking of. I don't care, I love it, or whatever that song was. But I don't know any. That's the only song I know. So this is called Boom Clap. If you think I should hear this, let me know. 226 is worth a listen. Avril Lavigne. Yep. Avril Lavigne is one of those artists that is so huge in Japan compared to America. Not that she wasn't huge in America, she was, but when I first moved to Japan in 2004, she was ginormous. So you could not escape it. And then she did Girlfriend came out, and she did a Japanese version because the Japanese market is so huge for her that she did a version in Japanese, and you couldn't escape that song. But all the first album, Complicated, Skater Boy, huge songs here in Japan. All right, The Lovin' Spoonful. All right, we're still doing good over here. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Yes. Great tune from the 60s. Ace of Base, not my thing. They're kind of, riding the ABBA wave. I think they were from Sweden or Finland or somewhere like that. But you couldn't escape it in '94. This was everywhere. I saw the sign. Kill Bill. Okay. I mean, I know the movie. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna write that one down because I'd be interested to hear if it references the Tarantino film or if it's just borrowing the title or something. But I don't know it. Could it be I'm falling in love? Yep, great bit of kind of R&B soul from the Spinners there from '73. Love it. To me, that looks like Katy Perry. Yes, Barbie Girl, of course. Everybody knows this. It's an earworm. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Yeah. There's a guy that I sometimes go to karaoke with now who loves to do this song. And I really can't stand this song, but you got to indulge other people's choices when you go to karaoke and be nice about it. All right. We're doing okay, it looks like. It's too late. Yeah, this is on Tapestry. I definitely know Tapestry. For some reason, I don't think it's that song, but I definitely. Okay. I want to check that one out because that one doesn't immediately ring a bell, but I know it because I know Tapestry. Crank That Soldier Boy. Yeah, that came over. We would go and we would put on when I was working as an ALT, we would put on a dance for the high school kids every year at this camp we would go to help them learn English because a lot of them they don't have school dances here. And the new younger jets that were coming over in 2007, 2008, we played Crank That Soldier Boy, and I think there's a Superman dance or something that goes with it. So I learned this song from the other younger jets in my time in Shimane. But yeah, I did he ever have another hit? Was that it? Was he a one-hit wonder? I don't know much about him. All right, Big Yellow Taxi, 217. It's too late. Oh, it's too late, baby. Now it's too late. Yeah, okay, Ned. I think I do know that one. All right. Okay. I love Joni Mitchell. Huge fan. Just bought a box set of her about 2 years ago. Her like first 7 studio albums. Because I still buy CDs. I'm old. Remember. Um, and so I've been kind of going through them. I play them in my car when I'm taking longer trips. And I know Blue, the album Blue, but I wasn't really very familiar with some of her other albums, just the kind of big hits. And this is absolutely a big hit. Um, but and it's been sampled by other artists, especially they mention it here in the Janet Jackson song. Fantastic, fantastic track. Much higher on my list if I were to make a list. This would be in the top 100. All right. Okay, speaking of Janet Jackson, That's the Way Love Goes. I like this one. This is the one that made her sort of more sexy because she was, just way over the top with the shoulder pads and everything and the control videos. And then the next video comes out for Rhythm Nation and she's all militaristic. And then, this is the one that sort of made her like, everybody's like, wow, Mike's sister is hot. So ELO, the Electric Light Orchestra, they've got to have more than just this one song. Don't Bring Me Down. Don't Bring Me Down. Mr. Blue Sky has got to be on here. But yeah, they are the definition of pop music. I'm always a little disappointed with some of the stuff that Jeff Lynne did to the Beatles because he overproduced some of their unearthed singles because he was such good friends with George Harrison. But I did like, I do like his inclusion in Traveling Wilburys and stuff. But yeah, you can't deny this is a great fun song. See, now here's a band I've heard of. Definitely heard the name Chainsmokers. Halsey is a female singer, if I'm right, but I don't think I know this song. I thought Halsey was in a band called Chainsmokers, or are they just sort of like pushing her out front like Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons or something? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I don't know this song. So let me know if I should listen to 214. All right. We got Ned and Nick chatting. Thank you guys. If you're coming in, looks like we have 9 people, 10 people. Do sound off in the comments and tell me hello. Keep going here. The zombies, she's not there. I feel like I know this. She's not there. All right, I got to write that one down. Doesn't immediately come to mind. 60 song. I know it though. I know the name Zombies, but I can't think of it. Okay, Sweet Child of Mine has kind of become one of those songs, and you all have them. We all have them that I just heard too many times. I just can't listen to it anymore. It's on. I have playlists. It's on my iTunes. I own, of course, Appetite for Destruction, but it's just so overplayed. Unfortunately, along with Welcome to the Jungle and Paradise City, although of those 3 songs from that first amazing album, this is the one. I just can't hear it anymore. I have to turn it off or I have to skip to the next track. But of course, yeah, I mean, it absolutely deserves its place on this list. And for a while, it was great, but it's so overplayed. It's just one of those songs. All right. 2006, Every Time We Touch. Never heard of this. Or Cascada. Never heard of either of those things. Genuine Pony. Well, he's got nice abs. Don't know this at all. Don't even know if I've heard of him. Is it genuine, but is it pronounced genuine? I don't even, yeah. Don't know this at all. All right. From that to, and again, you can think, okay, Beat It. Is there any song that you've heard more in your life than Beat It? Considering I was 12 or so when this album came out, everybody owned Thriller. You can't. It's hard to describe what it must have been like to be alive during Thriller to people that were born later in the 80s or born in the 90s, etc. It was so omnipresent. It was like almost everybody on the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, but there was a lot of people that maybe didn't. But Thriller transcended color, age. Everybody liked that album. Everybody played it. It was all over MTV. I didn't even have MTV back then. My parents weren't going to pay for cable in the early 80s. I had to watch Friday night videos. If you're an American, you might know what that is. But Beat It was omnipresent, but I still love it. That one doesn't feel overplayed to me. So Mara knows the Zombies. Okay. Yeah, I wrote that one down. I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah, Ned's like, come on, 209 for Beat It? Yeah, I agree. There's got to be more Michael on the list. I mean, Billie Jean's got to be up there. I actually, and we there's other songs, but my favorite Michael album is Off the Wall. I think that is a perfect record. I love every track. Thriller has its kind of dips, and there's a couple, the Paul McCartney duet is not great. I like it because I love Paul McCartney so much, but it's not great. I'll admit it. Lady in My Life, or the last song on Thriller, is not great. But there's so many great songs on Thriller. I feel like Thriller is like Sgt. Pepper. When you actually listen to it as an album, it's not as good as, say, Revolver. And Off the Wall is Michael Jackson's Revolver. And then I actually like Bad better as an album than Thriller. I think Bad is consistently great. And I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. Yeah, we won't talk about him as a person, but his music, you just couldn't. It was so huge. Probably there's been nothing close in my life to the mania around Michael Jackson in the early 80s. Madonna, Bruce Springsteen, huge. Can't touch Michael. Prince, huge. I'm not talking about are they better or whatever, but just the mania. And yeah, just everybody knew those songs and had seen those videos. All right, now we get, speaking of Prince, we get a Prince song that he wrote for, well, I don't know if he wrote it for the Bangles. I think he wrote it and gave it to the Bangles. I think he was kind of had a soft spot for their lead singer, Susanna Hoff. She's a very attractive woman, I can understand. And it's a great track, and they do it really well. I've heard his own version of it because I'm a huge Prince fan. I have some Prince anthologies and stuff where some of his songs, like the one he did for Sinead O'Connor and things like that. So yeah, 208. I think that's pretty good placement for that. Can't Get You Out of My Head. I know this. Kylie from Down Under. All right, we're checking in on the comments. We got 4 people now watching. Hello. So feel free to comment as we go along. Can't Get You Out of My Head. Just great little piece of pop, for lack of a better word. Yeah. She is like one of those people like Robbie Williams that's more famous, so famous in like Australia and the UK and Europe, way more than she is in the States. I think people in the States know who she is, but she never became a huge star in the United States like she did in other parts of the world. Okay, now I know a lot of people, there's backlash against this song, and I see some people hitting back on it and stuff. But this is a great summation. The absurdly catchy. I just think this is a great pairing. Rob Thomas, of course, from Matchbox 20, and Santana. This to me, quintessential. It'd be higher on my list. I just think it's a fantastic record. And yeah, every time it comes up, if I've got it on a mix in the car or something, I am definitely singing along for sure. All right, now this is kind of a funny one because Foreigner should be known for Jukebox Hero and Feels Like the First Time and Hot Blooded, and this is this power ballad is the song that gets them on this list when they obviously have some great singles and they're really a rock and roll band. But, every now and then, if you're Journey, you're going to have Open Arms or, I can't remember what's the other big power ballad they had, Faithfully, alongside Don't Stop Believin' and, Any Way You Want It and all the other great Journey songs. So Foreigner, this is the song that gets them on the list. But it is a great, the choir and everything. It is a great pop song. So I can see why it's on there. All right. Oh, I really like this song. I'm glad this is on here. So this is Estelle, who's British, with Kanye West in the mix, and just has a really good. She's very sort of ethnically British in the way she speaks and some of her colloquialisms. I recommend this song a lot. This would probably be in my top 100. I think this is a great little pop song. I don't know why I know that. It came out in 2008, but for some reason that one trickled through. Okay. So Philip Bailey, who I didn't know for the longest time who he was, I just knew he sang this song with Phil Collins. And of course, now I know that he was the lead singer of Earth, Wind, and Fire. And of course, they should be on this list with September and some of their songs probably coming up in the top 100. But yeah, this is just a fantastic little duet piece of pop. And yep, definitely should be on the list. All right, so we're getting down to the end of the 200s here. Bad Bunny, I've heard of who he is. I know he sings or raps in Spanish, and he's very popular, but I have never heard anything. I just know the name. All right, 201, The Knack, My Sharona, which I always think of an 80s song, but it actually came out in 79. And there's a guy on YouTube who makes a really fun show called, his name is Todd in the Shadows, and he does this one-hit Wonderland series. And he went over The Knack one time in My Sharona and how, it really, it came out and they were huge for about a year or two, and then they just sort of imploded and then they went away. But came around again in 94, as it says here, when it was included in the Winona Ryder movie, Reality Bites. And it's just a great power pop song. Absolutely should be on the list. Okay. We go back over. My Bologna by Weird Al. Yes, also, a lot of songs I now think of the Weird Al version sometimes before I think of. All right, let me hit starting for a second and say hello. Doom Vision, hello, thank you for coming in. Mara, Ned, Nick Rock, maybe Mike and Kim didn't make it back. Like they said they were hoping to tonight. Maybe they have to get up for work tomorrow. If you're in Japan like I am, it's already past midnight. And I do have to get up for work tomorrow, but it's all right. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I might not get all the way down to 100. Maybe I'll just go to like 150. But I'm gonna keep going. Genki Crab. All right. 10 a.m. in Missouri. All right. Well, hello, United States. Hello, Missouri. So that means it's probably, is Missouri East Coast, Central? Missouri might be Central, so that means it's probably 9 a.m. No, can't be 9 a.m. in California. Central? Okay. Maybe it's 8 a.m. in California. I never know. And then daylight savings time always screws me up. 8 a.m. in San Francisco. Okay. There we go. 11 a.m. in Brooklyn, New York. All right, cool. All right, so we got a few people from America in the chat. So we're going to keep going. Where am I going to go? I think I'm going to have to go back up to the top. Nope. That's where I just was. All right, here we go. Oh, look at that. I mean, that is a perfect pop song right there. That's a great picture of Diamond Dave. I'm a huge Van Halen fan. Um, Loved them before this album came out in 1984. I'd gotten a cassette of Diver Down, which is the album right before this album, and I played that album to death, and then got their original Van Halen 1, which is such an amazing record, probably one of the best debut rock records of all time. And then so I was primed and ready when this album came out, and Jump, with all the synthesizers and stuff. Well, you weren't quite ready for it from Van Halen, but man, what a great song. It would definitely be in my top 100. All right, We Belong Together. Don't know it. No Mariah. We talked about Mariah already, but yeah, I don't know this song. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce the name of this band. I think it's Question and the Mysterians. 96 Tears, very much like a garage band song. And yeah, this is a great little track. If you haven't heard it, from 1966, check it out. Yeah, I don't know. I have to hear it like a DJ say it out loud. I'm assuming it's Question and the Mysterians, which is what a great name for a band. All right. Oh, my screen share is not coming up. Thank you, Mara. Sorry. Okay, let me go back a little bit then. Hold on. Share. Really quick, because I did miss a few here. Okay, so this is the picture I was talking about, Diamond Dave. So we can all see what I was talking about. All right, and then we talked about Mariah. Don't know that one. Question in the Mysterians. And then at 197, we get Post Malone. Post Malone, I mean, I know who he is. He's sort of this ubiquitous pop culture person, all the crazy tattoos. Only know him from that one song that was in a Spider-Man movie. I think it's called Sunflower. I think that's the only Post Malone song I know. And I like that song, but it's not him doing a lot of the singing in that song, I think. So just one of those people who's very much like a Drake, that's sort of very much part of modern culture that I just don't know anything about. Okay, but going back into my wheelhouse, nice. One of my big albums from the 80s is Rio, which is the third Duran Duran studio album, or second or third. And just huge, so many huge hits off this album. Say a Prayer, not say it, Save a Prayer. The title track Rio, which is probably my favorite. I like that song a lot. And then of course this Hungry Like the Wolf, one of the huge MTV videos of the early MTV era. And yeah, love it. Love Duran Duran. Huge fan. All right, Nelly, Hot in Here, with the odd spelling. All right, so hopefully it's working now, and you guys can see that I'm on 195 over in the chat, checking in. Okay. Yeah, I know this song came out in 2002, so right before I moved to Japan. Definitely know that. The little piece of tape under his eye was his thing. But yeah, this is a very infectious beat on that song. Okay, a rare rock song on the list. So at 194, we got Boston, More Than a Feelin'. The first Boston album, I was just talking about how Van Halen 1 might be one of the best rock debuts of all time. So is Boston, Boston. I mean, every single song on that record, it could be a hit. It is an amazing collection of rock songs. And my sister did have that album. So I heard this album a lot growing up, and on vinyl, of course. And, they just failed to, the guy was so meticulous that was behind it all, that unfortunately they never really were consistent enough to develop. I think their second record is okay, and then after that they just it took forever to get to Boston 3. But that first album is amazing, and More Than a Feeling is an absolute, that would be in my top 100. That's a great song. Okay. Wow, I'm going to be sharing some deep cuts here. So Barry Manilow is the first album I ever bought with my own money. Was when I was about 8. I bought Trying to Get a Feeling, a Barry Manilow album, where he's sitting on the cover. It's like a clay statue of him playing the piano, and it's got I Write the Songs on it, and beautiful music, and a bunch of other songs. I was a huge Barry Manilow fan. Copacabana and all the 70s stuff, um, and on into the early 80s. And I got to see him in concert. His live double album came out. My mom and dad, I don't know why they did this, but they gave it to me and my sister. We both put it on our Christmas list that year. It was probably 78, 79, something like that. And so it was a double album, and they said, okay, you get disc 1, you get vinyl 1, and Linda, sister, you get vinyl 2. It was silly. And eventually she just gave me the whole thing. But yeah, is this his most famous song? I hope not, because this is almost more of like it's sort of almost a novelty song. But some of his, Weekend in New England, and I still do him in karaoke all the time. I'm a huge Manilow head. All right, No Doubt, great. That for another great debut. Well, Tragic Kingdom was not their very, very first album, but it's certainly the one that most people heard first. But yeah, just you couldn't escape it. The girlfriend I had at that time was a huge fan of No Doubt, and we listened to them all the time. All right, Dolly. Look at that. You gotta love Dolly. All right, I'll check in with the chat here. I'm at 42 minutes, so I'll probably go up to about an hour, and then I'll call it. All right. So Dolly is amazing. The more I found out about her as the years went on, and you just see how like she doesn't give a fuck about what anybody says. She's just her own person, and she's such a genuine person, and she's just fantastic. And she's a great songwriter. I mean, she of course famously wrote the Whitney Houston song, I Will Always Love You. And Jolene, and then this song from the movie 9 to 5. She's hysterical in this movie. We used to own this on VHS. My mom loved this movie, her and Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda. But she is just one of those genuinely like cool people that you wish you could meet. She's just such a great ambassador for country music, and just being true to yourself. I love her. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, The Tears of a Clown. I think Smokey Robinson, like I've said, if you're going to do best lyricists of all time, you got to have Dylan in there, and Lennon McCartney, Paul Simon. I think Smokey Robinson is probably in my personal, maybe Stevie Wonder and then him. He's in my top 5. Some of the songs he wrote, I just the wordplay, the tunes, the melodies, and this is an amazing song. One of my favorite bands is the English Beat, or the Beat as they were called in England. The English Beat ska band, they do a great cover of this song. Yeah, I just love this song. Much higher on my own personal list if I were making one. Okay, Pet Shop Boys. Number 189. Yep. Not my favorite early to mid 80s band, but this song was again omnipresent. I'd much rather listen to New Order, for instance, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, OMD, maybe even. But yeah, this song is inescapable. It was a great little slice of pop. Unplug this while I'm not on camera. Crimson and Clover. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that's a great song. Tommy James and the Shondells from '69. Got remade. Somebody remade it. But yeah, Crystal Blue Persuasion. That's another great song from them. But this is a great pop song. All right. Juice. I'm assuming you pronounce that World. Juice World. Lucid Dreams. Don't know what that is. Looks like it's rap. Never heard of either of those things. Madonna. Again, I'm assuming she has songs in the top 50. When I think of Madonna, because again, growing up so omnipresent in the 80s, I think of Like a Virgin, Material Girl, and I love her first album. I actually really enjoy listening to that whole album. Borderline, Holiday, Vogue is great, which is this song from '90. Now that's much later. And then I really like that one album she did where she kind of got sort of into mysticism with Frozen and some of those songs around the time she was also on the Austin Powers soundtrack. But yeah, I mean, just absolute force of nature. And yeah, Vogue is a great pop song. Absolutely should be on the list. I'll make love to you. Yep, can't really escape this one. Boys to Men, probably their most famous song. Baby making anthem. That's a good description of it. Not in my top 100, but I can see why it's on the list. Okay, another almost rock song. So how are we doing over on the chat? We're doing okay. I'm a huge Elton fan. I mean, the poster behind me, and I probably have almost every album, although he has 30 or more studio albums. But I just love the production on this. This is obviously from probably his masterpiece, which is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. And, the production where they put in the fake, like crowd noise, and it made it sound like he was singing it live, and just the piano playing on it. And the way, he says things like magazine, I just love the way she's got electric boots. It's boots, guys, not boobs. It's boots. Yeah, I was talking earlier about Sweet Child of Mine, how I can't hear it anymore. You'd think a song like this, Bohemian Rhapsody, some of these big, huge '70s songs would also be overplayed, but you can put this on anytime and I'm singing along. I love this song. This would be in my top 50 if I was making my own list. Way too low on this list, in my opinion. All right. And then we go from that, which I think is such a huge record, to this thing I've never heard of from 1999, which, so I should have back that AZZ up, back that ass up, I'm assuming, by Juvenile featuring some other people. Yeah, don't know that song. Okay. Oh, gosh. I think I will stop at 150 or 151. Okay, so 182 here. Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke is like, some people point to Marvin Gaye or, Stevie Wonder, and, great voices. Great. Sam Cooke is like my personal, like, I have this like album of his, like the Essential Sam Cooke. It's like 20 songs. I play that album all the time. I love his voice. And he wrote most of his own songs. Of course, he wrote the big civil rights anthem, Change is Gonna Come. And this song in particular, I just think is amazing. And there's a Japanese band called Ulfuls, which is really hard to find, but ULFULS, Ulfuls, that do a great version of this. They sing the first line in English and then they sing the rest in Japanese. And I've learned that song in Japanese, so that's a go-to karaoke song for me. But yeah, Sam Cooke, just Phenomenal talent taken from us way too soon. Go All the Way by the Raspberries. Okay, I don't know if I know this one. I'm gonna write this one down. 181. Is that Let's Go All the Way? No, I think that's a different song. Okay, I'll find out. I don't know if I know that one. Next, Livin' La Vida Loca. 180. All right. So we're just gonna put 180. So I know that's where we were in the chat. Okay. Bum bum ba ba bum bum bum. Yeah, just fantastic. Great, great, great pop song. He just knocks it out of the park. Ricky Martin and the video was amazing. It's so infectious. Love this song. That would be in my top 100. I think if I were to distill this list down to my own top 100, this would be in the top 100. Great, great song. And another one right after it, Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine. Just amazing. You know, you know, you know, you know. That's great for the magic moment. Yep. I've heard a great version done by Tracy Chapman. She does it as a duet with somebody. But anyway, his original from 71, great. And of course, Lean on Me, his other huge hit. Both are amazing. This is a fantastic song. Steve Lacy, Bad Habit. Okay, I don't know. Don't know that at all. How can this song from 2022, I'm sorry, be better than, so many of the songs we've talked about already? Better than Jump, Livin' La Vida Loca, and Ain't No Sunshine? There's just no way. I'm sorry, Steve Lacy. Okay, Daft Punk, One More Time. Yeah, I don't know if I'd pick that as my favorite Daft Punk song, but it certainly is great. Yeah, fantastic. Sia Chandelier. So we were talking about Sia the other night in one of the other videos because she was mentioned in a song, and I was like, "Is that the lady that sings Chandelier?" And Kim, I think, was in the chat that night. And she said, "Yeah, that's Sia." So I know this song. I know the soaring vocal. Again, it broke through, even though I was living in Japan, 2014. It became such a huge hit. And then the video with the girl dancing and stuff like that. Yeah, you couldn't really escape it. Not something I would play a lot, but I appreciate it. It's the kind of song you don't want to see on the karaoke coming up next playlist, because there's nobody can sing that song and pull off those notes, and you're like, really, you're gonna make us sit through you trying to sing this song? You're not going to be able to do it. So yeah, it's just one of those songs. It's like she can do it, but maybe not a lot of other people can. Now, an interesting choice, an old school rap. I do know Run DMC. Everybody had Raising Hell. Um, It's Tricky. Walk their version of Walk This Way with Aerosmith. My Adidas. Yeah, this is fantastic. Great that this is on here. I love it. Oh, one of the best Motown songs of all time. Little Michael, ABC. And although I'm going to forget the name of the other huge song they had. Not my favorite Jackson 5 song of all time, but this is, the piano, the going down the keyboard intro, etc. This is such a great song. Absolutely deserves to be on here. Sit down, girl. Yeah, that's true. Maybe this is better. I Want You Back. I don't know. I Want You Back, ABC. Maybe I Want You Back will still be on here. And, we still got 173 to go. All right. Doja Cat. Don't know who that is. Is it a man? Is it a woman? Became her first Hot 100 number one. Okay, yeah, so it's a woman. Don't know who that is. So let me know if you think I should listen to Doja Cat. Write down 173 in the comments. Alrighty, Dexy's Midnight Runners, 172. Yeah, I mean, again, kind of a one-hit wonder in America, but I know they had a lot more big hits in Europe, especially in their native UK. But Come On Eileen, To La Rue La Ray, yeah, fantastic. Every 80s playlist, it's on there. I've talked about the Carpenters a little bit already. This not would not be the song I would pick to represent them. I know it was one of their very first big breakthrough hits. I would pick, uh, what's that one song? Yesterdays Are Gone or something, or I'm blanking now, but yeah, I mean Karen Carpenter's voice, it just timeless and ageless. Again, gone way too soon. Really should have been avoided. But a lot of props to Richard too. He wrote a lot of those songs. He arranged them. He is a huge part of the Carpenters and shouldn't be overlooked. But her voice is just transcendent. So I get it. And then we follow that up with somebody I haven't even heard of. Robin S. Show Me Love. Don't know this at all. Maybe is she British? Maybe she's Swedish. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know her at all. Oops. All right. Eric, thank you. Yeah, my videos have been on YouTube for a long, long time now. Thanks for checking in. Robin S. is great, Ned says. All right. I'll write it down then. What number was she? 170? I'll give it a check. I'll give it a try. It's certainly, I should maybe know it. It's from 1993, but no, I can't. I don't think I've heard of her. Louie, talking about garage band with the Question of the Mysterians. This is the ultimate garage song that, obviously became, I think, even more famous when it was used in Animal House, which is a movie I watched a ton on VHS when I was a kid. But yeah, great song. I don't know if it'd be in my top 100, but it'd be in my top 150. And here it is at 169. I think that's pretty good. In Sync, Tearing Up My Heart. I don't know that I would pick that one. I mean, everybody would, I think most people would pick Bye, 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 or whatever the name of that song is. Bye, 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 bye. But okay. They deserve to be on the list. They had some huge pop songs. Love on Top by Beyonce, don't know. I know Crazy in Love, and I know her stuff with Destiny's Child, and I know Single Ladies. Those are probably the ones I know. I don't know this one. But of course, know who Beyonce is. Coolio, Gangsta's Paradise. I mean, again, we were talking about Weird Al. I think somebody in the comments brought up Weird Al. I mean, this just makes me, every time I hear this song now, I think of Amish Paradise. Just because I think it's almost more memorable. But I mean, the original with the guy singing, the other parts that Coolio's not rapping, just amazing. And I remember that movie a lot with Michelle Pfeiffer that it came from. All right. Oh, I can see clearly now. Yep. Very. That's a really nice little bit of pop fluff and used in Cool Runnings. Again, I probably associate it with that movie. I can see clearly now the rain has gone. All right, how we doing on the stream over here? Ned saying I'll know it when I hear it. Okay, well, I'll give it a shot. Don Henley, of course, from Eagles, the drummer and singer of most of their iconic hits. I'm assuming Hotel California should be on this list. I think we did have one Eagles song, but he went solo. His first album, Dirty Laundry, I love that song. Not much else on that first album, but then the second album, I can't remember the name of it. Is it in here? No, they don't mention the album. But anyway, the album this was on, I had that album, and there's like 5 like singles off that album. But this one has just got this infectious something about it, and it's dated and it feels very 80s, but it takes me back to a very specific time when I was listening to it. And I think I had my first car by then. I was 16 that summer and I was driving. And I know I had this on cassette and I would play it in my car driving around San Diego. So, yeah, huge song for me. Love it. Okay, so here's this Charlie XCX person. I love it. This is the song I was like, I know I've heard that, but she's actually only the featured artist, and the song is really by Icona Pop. I don't really know who those people are, but I know this song. All right. Oh, we're going to get some good ones right before we get to 150. Okay, so the Kinks are probably, it's hard for me. I mean, you've got the Beatles, the Stones, the Kinks, the Who. I think those are your 4 major British invasion bands. And how do you rank them and stuff? The Beatles are always going to be number 1 for me, but really the Kinks, the more and more I listen to them, are probably number 2. I probably listen to more Kinks now in my 50s than I do Stones or Who. But the Who were huge for me when I was like in college. I just went on a deep, deep dive of the Who, thought they were the everything. And then they just kept doing reunion tour after reunion tour. And the Kinks kind of haven't really done that a lot. But the more I listen to the Kinks, I just love how British they are. This is obviously their kind of proto, guitar, all day and all of the night, and they, of course, was covered by Van Halen. But yeah, it's a great song. And hopefully they have some other songs on this list: Waterloo Sunset, Victoria, Lola. I mean, there's some other songs that should be on this list, perhaps. Okay, Taylor Swift again. I've talked about her. Don't know this one, but if you think I should listen to it, it was 159, Blank Space. I will give it a try. All right. Tina. I love Tina Turner's Story. I love the movie that's called What's Love Got to Do with It? Angela Bassett, of course, playing the hell out of the role. And, how she turned her life around and came back with this song and this album after, obviously getting out from under Ike and that disastrous relationship. And I've loved her ever since. She's just one of those, like Dolly Parton, she's just one of those forces of nature that I think you have to respect. And she would put on shows even into her 60s that were so amazing to watch, her live performances. Then she was in, the Mad Max movie, Thunderdome, and yeah, I love Tina Turner. One of my favorite female voices of all time. Maybe even more than Aretha for me, although Aretha's amazing. Cher, this is the, auto-tune song of all time. You couldn't escape it. Great little bit of pop. Yep, should definitely be on this list. T-Pain featuring Whatever, Buy You a Drink. Okay, I've never heard of any of that. I've heard of who T-Pain is. Isn't he like a guy who just totally uses auto-tune? Why do people like that? It's so bad for me. I just can't stand it. All right, we can do a few more and then we're gonna stop because we're in an hour. All right, 57, 157. Oh, Blondie. I love Blondie. Call Me is great. I mean, so many of their, definitely you can ask, your Spotify or Apple Music to play Blondie Essentials, and you can't go wrong. You're going to get song after song of greatness. And this is a big one. Deborah Harry, or Debbie Harry, amazing singer. Great band, though. I mean, the guys behind her that came up with a lot of the tunes, fantastic. Okay, Miley Cyrus, again, sort of not in my generation. I know people love her from that TV show she was on. Um, what was it? Where she pretended to be a pop singer. Hannah Montana, was that what it was called? And of course, that's all way after my time. But then she came out with this song, and of course, it was notorious for the music video where she's swinging around. Is she naked on the wrecking ball or something? I can't remember. But other songs that she's come out with since then, she does have a very good voice. She is really talented. So I'm glad that she's kind of transcended the sort of viral silliness of this video and this song. Even though the song itself, if you just listen to it and you've never seen the visuals, it is a powerful song. Wouldn't be on my list, but I do respect it. Sugar Sugar, at least a little bit better than Yummy Yummy Yummy, which was also on this list. Yeah, massive hit. Okay, Heat Wave, again, used really well in Good Morning Vietnam. And yeah, they had a bunch of hits actually, but this is a great track from '63. Love Missy Elliott, one of those kind of anomalies where like I don't connect to a lot of African American music. I don't connect to a lot of urban music or hip hop, but for some reason, Missy Elliott, and again, this was the girlfriend I had at the time, and our roommates were really into TLC, really into Missy Elliott. So I was just hearing it all the time. And yeah, this is, I mean, you can't get your freak on. Uh, Super Duper Fly. I mean, just some of those songs are so great. This song is just amazing. So definitely should be on there. Good inclusion. Nick Lowe, Cruel to Be Kind. Why do I feel like I know that, but I don't? Okay, I gotta write that one down because it doesn't jump out at me, but I feel like I probably know it. All right. Last one. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Can't take my eyes off of you. I really like December. Oh, what a night, late September 1963. I like that song a lot, but he doesn't sing a lot on that. Frankie Valli obviously sings a lot more on this. And all those great early Four Seasons songs. Yeah, absolutely should be on this list. Okay, so that's going to probably be it. Let's see what number 50 is. Eminem. We're going to start with Eminem and hopefully get from 150 to number 1 all in one video. But, oops. Okay, I will plug back in. But it'll be, now I've got to go back to work. So it'll probably be the 23rd or the 24th, and maybe I'll do it kind of in my afternoon. So it's sort of America evening, like my Sunday afternoon, the 24th. So it's sort of Saturday evening for people, and maybe a few more people will come by, and I'll do a better job of advance notice so people know it's coming. But thank you to everybody that did come by and leave a message. Eric and Doom and Mara and Ned, Genki Crab, Nick, today, and leave comments. I'll put the link to I keep telling you I'm going to put the link to the chart, and I think I keep forgetting, but I will try to remember to put it in the description. So yeah, check back in a week and I'll do video number 4, and that might be the last one if we can get it all done, but maybe if it's going to take me two more to do the last 150, we'll see how it goes. Okay, thanks for watching. See ya.